So, now we are truly in the wilding world, and the next 2 or 3 short pieces are all going to be moving more and more deeply into, this one's gone off again, yeah. More and more deeply into that world. The next piece is another poem called The Hungry Heart. Set for me a table within this sacred grove, where I may gorge remorseless upon this lush insanity of life, this cacophony of chlorophyll that insists on wild excess. Let me lap the honeyed summer wind, tongue lolling, eyes gone mad. Let me lick the light from virgin leaves, a heady gold ambrosia slipped from the cup of God. And when I've eased my hungry heart, I'll burrow down. Turn once, turn twice, and dream of running with the wolves through urban canyons, stark and spare. So now I'd like to move more, as I say, more deeply into the wilding world, but a little bit more in the world of narrative poetry, or poetic narrative, depending on which way you like to see it. My second book that's going to be coming out in the spring of 2016, again published by Heritage House, who published The Fisher Queen, about my years as a female deckhand in the commercial salmon trolling fleet. They'll be publishing the next one, which is called Cape Scott, A Dream of Utopia. Has anybody ever been to Cape Scott, to the very northern tip of Vancouver Island? Well, let's say it is more a being. Oops. A being than a place. It's more that, in the book, it's more of a character than a location. So this is the opening, or the suggested opening, and so this is a little preview of that book to come. As I say, it will be published spring 2016. It was perfect last weekend. Don't worry about it. There is still a place on this earth so wild, so elemental. It does not waste its energy noticing you. It does not lash out at you, defending its primeval virginity. It does not seduce you in hopes of winning your heart. It just ignores you. You are that inconsequential. It thrusts itself from the top of an otherwise benign and domesticated island like a wild crest, giving new meaning to the geographical term punt. For those of us without wings or fins or 4 sturdy legs, it is only reachable by boat, a harrowing deed in itself, as it is guarded by some of the most savage waters on earth. Everything is restless, shifting, and temperamental, never still, never at peace. Moody stillness erupts into churning rages that shatter into crystal brightness. Everything is on edge. Everything is tough and wary, wiry and spare, scoured by the relentless wind and sun, the waters that pummel from sea and sky. But in spite of this tumult, and perhaps because of it, there is opportunity for uncanny liberty here. Surging through the ragged channel into the twin bays hugging point, you begin to lose your mind. The mind that calculates and postulates, that arrogantly insists on itself. There is no thinking here, only feeling. There is no language here, only sensing. Gaia rewards her daring runs with sweeps of sand and sea and brooding force that leave you weak and breathy. There are curios and treasures coquettishly flung by the whirling waves, like hankies and flowers to tempt a foolish suitor. But the sea is a fickle lover, and never to be trusted. There is evidence of our species' brave folly. Its misbegotten attempts to tame and marry this unruly place. For all their Nordic resoluteness, they too slipped away into the earth, into despair, back into the holes of battered sailing ships, broken silvery planks, crockery shards, fern-choked geometric shapes are all that remain, fragile trappings of an inconsequential past, merely ignored into non-existence. And as I said, that is what I hope will be the opening of my second book about Cape Scott. So